counsel me.
Welcome in, everyone. This is Stuck in the Nosebleeds. Your host, Ryan Peters. A little bit of an off section off of Stuck in the Catch Fence. Wanted to talk to you this week about some pressure possibly being on the men's basketball coach at Indiana, Mike Woodson. Now getting ready to start his next campaign this year in 2024-2025. Is the pressure on from a very unfamiliar source, the IU football team? That's what we're going to talk about here today. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful Monday afternoon. Indiana University football is 6-0. That's right. The IU football team is 6-0. Curt Cignetti said you can Google him because all he does is win. And so far, in his very short tenure as an IU football coach, that has been the case. IU was able to knock off a pesky Northwestern football team on a lakeside campus or lakeside stadium that looked like it held about 400 people. I'm sure obviously there's a few more than that. More known for its views outside of the stadium, the temporary stadium, why they build the next football stadium for Northwestern. But Indiana and Northwestern back and forth. Indiana finally ends up with a convincing road Big Ten win. And it just had me sitting here thinking a little bit as we head into the fall. I mean, we are 1 month away before IU basketball hits the hardwood. I believe they started official practice next week. And you're probably sitting there going, well, as an IU fan, aren't you more worried? Aren't you more interested in what's going on with the football team? As a Notre Dame football fan, yeah, I root for IU. I don't ever not root for IU football, but my heart is with IU basketball. And I'm sitting here watching the IU football team, and I just look at things completely different. I want to go back again to that quote by Curt Cignetti, and the confidence, some would call it arrogance that he had based upon what he has done. And let me emphasize that, what he has done. He said, Google me, all I do is win. And he has backed that up 100%. Now, you can be arrogant or you can be confident. When you're 6-0, that's just pure confidence. What you've done as a coach, what you've done at James Madison, what you've done at other programs has led you to the point where you can say those things. To say, hey, I know how to build programs. I take over programs, and when I leave, they're better off than they have been in decades. And that is already the case for IU football. Now, let's kind of compare the two to why this video is being made. IU basketball just picked up Trent Sisley. They've picked up their 5 stars. They've picked up, some guys that have done well with them, at least done well from a recruiting standpoint. Mackenzie Mbaka was a 5-star, the highest 5-star since Romeo. They look like they're trying to pick up some more. Braylon Mullins obviously is a guy that's on their radar. And there's been a few 5-stars that they've missed. But nonetheless, IU's done a really good job from what we've seen previously to at least get talent recognized by the national media. Now, what has IU football done? Well, pretty much been IU football. 2023, 2024, as you can see, mainly 3 stars, bottom of the Big Ten. When Curt Cignetti came in, most of his transfers came from James Madison. A lot of them, over a dozen. To put that in perspective, we're seeing a coach that has his group undefeated, historically best start in IU football, ranked, and he's done that immediately with a plan, with a prescription. Now, when IU hired Mike Woodson could not come to the microphone and say, Google me, all I do is win. Actually, when it comes to college sports in general, he had no resume to speak of. That's where I'm getting at. When you look at what Mr. Dolson's done when it comes to hiring coaches for the athletic programs, almost all of them have went up. Baseball has been consistently there as an opportunity to make the baseball tournament. Soccer has always thrived. Football, now with his hire, has done really, really well. Getting rid of Tom Allen looks like a really smart decision now. But basketball is a little bit different. And you see the politics of basketball make it a little bit different. I don't know how much of you guys are aware of the IU Fanatics podcasts and things of that nature. The Hoosier Hysterics. I'm sorry, not Fanatics. Hoosier Hysterics. They had a breaking apart with Coach Woodson because he did not like the criticism that was brought his way, if you want to call it that. To me, very fair criticism, but essentially he cut ties with them. Now, you could say it was, I don't know, just a podcast looking as a reason to dump on Coach Woodson for the fact that they had a relationship ended that helped them out as well. I think now coming to light, what we're seeing out of IU football and IU basketball is the fact that whenever one is treated the same way it is with a lot of other sports, in terms of you should put the guy in the position that best fits the needs to win, IU Athletics has done a pretty good job. When you have other outside influences that are putting somebody in the position because they want their guy in the position, and if you listen according to Hoosier Hysterics, Mike Woodson, with Scott Dolson present, says, I'm here until I don't want to be anymore. So you have a coach that, despite what he's done on the court in terms of win-losses, in terms of what it takes to hang another banner, he's comfortable. He's a 60-year-old man. But that's the thing. Like, Coach Signetti's not a young guy. He didn't reinvent the wheel. But he's already done this before. He knows what it takes to win. He said it. Google him. And a lot of people had to. Not anymore. Mike Woodson, while he's had limited success, his teams just feel like they don't ever get better. But yet the talent that Mike Woodson has brought in, at least from a composite rating, at least from a national standpoint, is significantly better than what we've seen. Well, I know some people are going to blame the schedule. Yeah, IU's had a soft schedule. It's going to get harder. Maybe they get exposed a little bit more. But that being said, IU is winning games. A game where a pesky Northwestern team on the road in years previous, Northwestern comes away with that victory. A horrific start against Maryland when they pack the house. The students, the fans, they don't come away dominating in the second half of that game. IU's finding a way, taking on the leadership position of their coach to find a way to win. Indiana has a coach when it comes to the men's basketball program that says, I'm all that's needed in this program. And by the way, I'm never going to change what it is that I do. No, I don't have the pedigree that says that I know what it takes to win at the collegiate level. But trust me, I'm Mike Woodson. I played here before. I played under Coach Knight, even though I don't practice any of his principles when it comes to how to play the game of basketball. So now that we've seen these two different things, are we back to... Do you think that there's a little bit of pressure on Mike Woodson now? Do you think, hearing comments from Trey Galloway saying we're going to take more threes, more time, more teams are taking threes in the modern basketball game, do you think that's a little bit of pressure coming right across the street from the football team? This guy's done this in year one. He has completely turned around a program in year one. There is more excitement than for IU football now, probably since Coach, rest in peace, Coach Hepner, whenever he was part of this program and was unable to fulfill what he was able to do because of his health. But right now, there's a coach at IU who's no nonsense, doesn't care if you leave, but is trying to build a program. IU is trying to rent players, build it on from one season to the next, do nothing to try to fit the puzzle pieces that come in each year to make a better basketball team, but for them to form into what Mike Woodson believes is what the basketball game should look like. And a lot of that is an archaic view, both defensively and offensively, and has not led to results from what IU fans want and what most expert thinks based upon the talent that's been on the team. We've not had a talent deficiency when it comes to IU basketball. We have had a production deficiency outside of what, two people? Trace Jackson Davis and Jalen Hood Schifino for a short amount of time. Coach Signetti has laid the blueprint for what it looks like in modern sports and the age of here today, gone tomorrow sports to completely turn around the one of the, if not the worst football program in the Big Ten. Oh, by the way, the Big Ten did also add Oregon, Washington, USC. UCLA is in there too, but it's going to be a little bit. The conference didn't get weaker. The pressure should be on Mike Woodson. Mike Woodson should also feel pressure for himself to deliver. And maybe that gets the best basketball team that we've seen yet. It sure looks like that is going to be the case when it comes to the talent. But what about the head coach? Coach Calipari didn't have no issues getting the best recruits, but he sure did struggle finding a way to consistently win, at least to the standards of Kentucky. Could Coach Signetti walk in halfway through his first year and put pressure on Coach Woodson, the sport that has the most expectations, would now feel the pressure from the sport that literally had the least expectations? Is that possible? Is Mike Woodson willing to look and take some ideation from a guy across the parking lot and go, damn, he knows what he's doing? What is the IU football team doing to get guys to buy in with inferior talent to put out a winning product? That's a question I'm going to ask you guys. And hopefully, if it does put pressure on Mike Woodson to be better, to put in the work, and it looks like that's happened, I will give Mike Woodson credit. He's been to more recruiting events. He seems to be putting his boots on the ground more so now than he has previous. And hopefully, philosophically, has been putting in his homework on what it looks like to run an offense in 2024. If that's the case, I don't think that is too far-fetched to say that Coach Curt Signetti has at least a small part of that. And that's a good thing, because we've always said as coaches, competition is what breeds excellence. Competitive practices, competitive games, competitive players, day in, day out, and now competitive sports under the same umbrella. It's just all tide rising floats all boats. IU football can do that. Curt Signetti can lead that and say, man, if I was comfortable before because I thought I was a big guy on campus because somebody like Quinn Buckner and Randy Whitman put me into power, maybe I should do a little bit of soul searching here and go, I think it's time to win. The blueprints all across Bloomington on what it takes to win at their other sports. But the one that IU fans care about the most has led them with the most head scratching, the most disappointment, and the most completely baffled at times. So appreciate that, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you agree with me, you can feel free to let me know below. If you think I'm completely off base and think that has no bearing on anything, I'd like to know that as well. So again, this is a episode of Stuck in the Nosebleeds, part of Stuck in the Catch Fence. I am your wonderful host, Ryan Peters, saying thank you very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And like always, stay safe and God bless.